Working on trying to figure out if things are working or not. It looks like they might be, but I can't tell for sure yet. I've been having like some weird issues with the restream stuff, but yeah, it looks like it's up. Looks like it's going. So I'll cool. Hopefully this oh, there we go. No video. Yeah, the video is up. It's just, it's still a screen. So hopefully everything works just fine. You guys could see my little guy moving around. I'm about to change over to my other screen. So how you doing? Is there really no video? There should be video. Yeah. All right, well, good morning. Looking for my face. My face is right here. Good morning. Well, I mean, for me, it's morning. For you guys, it might not be. All right, so this is my character for the ArtStation Challenge. If you've been following me on my personal streams, you'll remember the different little things that I did on my stream the other day. Like I went through and textured his boots, and then I'll be exporting maps to be able to get the displacement detail, the normal map detail, be able to get the texture, the colored texture and things like that. That's a little bit off. I'll have to fix that. Let's go ahead and grab this and kind of move it over. Turn on symmetry. Boom. Love ZBrush. So easy. Just kind of fill in that section of the boot. Alright. So easy. So easy. Alright. That's better. That's better. Okay, let's go ahead and save that. Alright. So mid-afternoon? Yeah, I figure. Jamie, dude, how are you doing? I'm doing as well as can be, given the circumstances. Not too bad. So yeah, the other day in the stream, I went through and I did some cool things with the what is new in ZBrush 2021.6. We'll all have to wait and find out. I actually don't know. Yeah, I went through and added details like with surface noise and things like that to get some bump map interest there. Okay, super fun. Yeah, and then this guy's come a long way since we've last looked at him. The things that I want to go ahead and do today. Okay, I need to kind of make a list because this will be important. That sticky note is garbage. In fact, Tuesday I think is when they have that stream. Pixologic will be going through and showing what is new on ZBrush 2021.6. Which it's kind of fun that with the patches they've been going through and kind of adding things to it too. It's not just like they're going through and making fixes to bugs. It's like they're actually adding things, which is it's neat. That's neat. I like that. Okay, let me see. I was gonna say. What was I gonna say? Okay, so I need to. Gloves. I'm putting in kind of like an order, like a hierarchy of tasks I'd like to get to. And I'm going to start with the gloves because I've needed to get on the gloves since forever ago, and I haven't yet. And then I need to get the textures done for the belt buckle. But I can worry about those later. So I could say, textures. So gloves, pose, and then I'll finish out the textures for these pieces that are missing. So with the textures, I'm going to say belt buckle. And then I'll say the bands, arm and waist bands on vest. And then I want to give him kind of like this bracer. You see I kind of, stop that. Giving him like this little bracer thing here. Which obviously I need to go through and do some sort of retopo on, which I can easily do with the what is that thing called? With ZBrush, to be able to get the base. That might be something that I go through and do another day, or possibly in my personal stream. One of the things that so today I have to end pretty soon after 10 o'clock because Paul has a stream scheduled at 11. So I already have a timer set so that I don't totally lose track of time. It's set to end 2 hours from now. So if I don't wrap up right at 10 o'clock, it'll be soon thereafter so that I can so I can give Paul the time he needs. Yeah, let me see. Let's go ahead and take this piece. I'm going to name it, and then we'll hide it. Let's come over and start with these gloves. Okay, these gloves are going to be the thing of legend. Just kidding. But seriously. Okay. Here is what we have thus far. So I do want to go through and start off. I'm going to actually separate these the band, like the wristband, from the actual glove. Yeah, this is going to be a fairly quick and simple sort of glove, but it's going to be effective enough for getting what we need out of it. And to be able to make this glove, anybody know what I did? 10 points to whatever house guesses how I created the base for this glove. Let me see. Do you use fiber mesh on this model? No. Yeah, I don't. I don't do a lot of fiber mesh. I may experiment with it here and there on different projects, but this one, no. Pretty confused when I use texture material properties not work. So you have to make sure that you fill material and fill color in order to really make things work. So yeah, those two things are really important. These models are going to be exported out over into Maya for all the rendering and things like that. And then the textures, I'm doing the color textures inside of ZBrush, and then I use Photoshop to be able to extract different information from the color textures to be able to make different. I'm getting weird reflection from. Let's see, maybe I'll put my sharks right over there so that it blocks the reflection of the light from the window. Yeah, and then I'll use Photoshop to be able to go ahead and extract different information like my roughness maps my my specular maps, subsurface maps, my metallic, and really that's about it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I had started going through and playing around with. But yeah, then the normal maps and everything come out straight from ZBrush. It's really, really nice. I really like, so the plugin that I use is the multi-map exporter, which if you're familiar with Pablo Munoz, he does that a lot too. So it's really, really just nice. Just a really great, let's say, inset, polygroup island. Really nice set of tools. Okay, so there we go. So I didn't see anybody guess, but yeah. So the hand, is I pulled the glove directly from the hand, so it's fine. It's fine. We're all fine. It looks like we might have only. I don't have my symmetry turned on. Delete hidden. Let's get rid of. Okay, so we're going to take this. We're going to say deformation mirror and weld. It's funny. My wife said that she'd been listening to Fleetwood Mac, a specific song, Dreams, over the last couple of days. So we listened to it a little bit together today. Okay, I want to kind of fix this shape a little bit. Turn the wristband back on. Oh, you know what? I haven't turned my symmetry back on. I'm going to turn off my my color real quick, just so I can study the form and not have to worry about the dark color of the material. Make it hard for me to understand what's happening with the surface. It's always good. Hola, amigo. 12 días. Pues sí, obviamente, por eso estoy trabajando en eso. Estoy tratando de preparar los guantes. Yeah. My friend Bardes over on Twitch has been very good about reminding me on my personal streams like how much time I got left on the competition. Which is funny. And it's great. It's helpful, and it just kind of keeps things in perspective. In fact, I have it outlined. Actually, maybe I haven't outlined it on my calendar yet. Oh, yep, I have outlined it on my calendar. See it right there. But of course, that's next month, so flip it back. I still haven't gone through and ticked off the days that have actually gone by yet. I better do that while I'm thinking about it, or else it won't ever get done. Okay, we're on the 19th, so we're just going to tick backwards. Yeah. This calendar is awesome, by the way. It's just a simple fold-over calendar. I got it from a store called H Mart, which is like a Asian grocery store here in. I don't actually know if it exists elsewhere too, but they have it here in Los Angeles, and there's one here pretty close by, because the Asian population here in this area is huge. And so, we're able to go and we're able to get foods that are typical to Vietnam or to the Philippines or to China or Japan. And And so we get a lot of different noodles or different things like that. They have a lot of seafood things there, squid, octopus, shrimp, yeah, crab, any type of shellfish. Like it's awesome. It's a great shop. So if you're ever in the LA area, totally check out H Mart. They have different drinks, different candies, different treats, all sorts of things. So great. Love it. Hey Jenna, what is today's project? So today, I'm continuing work on this character, and I'm wanting to go through and finish out the gloves. You know what? I think I actually want to kind of extend this this wrist hole out another ring or two. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. H Mart's on the East Coast too. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it's a great shop. We go there all the time. It's so good. And it's just such a relief to have those sorts of resources. To me. Let me see. Let's say stitch to end point. Boom, 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 boom. Oh. Boom, boom. All right. Other side. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, come on, you. I'm going to have to add in an extra edge loop right here so that it can line up with this part. But and then the edges right here. And let's go ahead and take these. I need to slide them over. So let's do some of that. Just going to slide it over so that it roughly aligns with this edge loop right here. Do these ones here as well. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Okay, we'll just kind of pull that down, insert that edge loop there. Pull this down, pull this down. There we go. Yeah, look at it go. Look at it go. What kind of software are you using? Using a software called ZBrush. This is an industry standard. Oh, I need to have 2 edge loops in there. Industry standard software for digital sculpting all around the world. It's super fantastic. There we go. I've used it professionally for all sorts of things. So I've used it as a character artist at Warner Brothers Games, working on Hogwarts Legacy. I've used it as a modeling artist at DreamWorks Animation on How to Train Your Dragon. I've also used it for making toys for Hasbro. I've used it for designing things for the Disneyland parks around the world. It's a fantastic piece of software, and I know that there are a lot of other people who use it for things like for making dental implants or for making prosthetic limbs or just all sorts of things. It's such a versatile piece of software. I love it. I love it. Yeah, I have a very special relationship with ZBrush. Alright, so right now what I'm doing is I'm just using a tool called ZModeler inside of ZBrush to be able to create these gloves for my character for the ArtStation challenge, and it's a ton of fun. It's a ton of fun. So if you ever If you ever feel like you want to explore it and try it out, totally jump into it. And there's a free version called ZBrush Core Mini, which you can get on their website. And yeah, I super recommend it. Yeah, jewelry is another one. That's really really cool. There's some super super talented artists out there that use it for creating jewelry. ¿Cómo va ese español? Pues espero que mejora un poquito. Pero creo que más que nada voy empeorando. Pues de a poco. Porque pues hace más de 11 años, más que 11 años que practico al diario. Yo vivía en Chile hace 11 años, más o menos. En 2009 volví aquí a los Estados. Y yo amo el español. Es muy bello el idioma y muy útil, como yo, especialmente aquí en Los Ángeles. Oh, chuta. Los guantes, ¿dónde están los guantes? Okay, we'll just go ahead and tap it up here. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Okay. Whatever. Okay, just come over here. Pero por suerte, aquí están los guantes. Por suerte, me casé con una mujer nicaragüense. Sus padres son nicaragüenses y sobre todo hablan el español. Pueden hablar en inglés un poquito, pero más que nada hablan el español. Así que para poder comunicarme con ellos, me toca practicar el español, lo cual me encanta. Lo encuentro muy útil, muy bello poder usar ese idioma, especialmente después de haberme esforzado tanto por aprender. Es bueno poder usarlo como... Let me see. I'm just going to try to go through and make sure that I've got all of these points, keeping them in their place. Okay. And then, okay, so for this, once I give it thickness, it'll be easier to go through and kind of make sure that it fastens in nicely. But here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to delete this part right here. Okay, there we go. I'm going to grab this. Let's bring this up here. Something like that feels a little bit... Does that feel good? I don't know. Let's see. How many loops am I playing with in here? I'm going to go down to display properties, hit double so I can see that. It looks like I've got 1, 2, 3 that I want to play with in there. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this loop here, make it just a little bit thinner of a strap. Say geometry, delete hidden. Okay. And And then I think let's come in here and say something like that right there, maybe. Okay. No, I don't want to. I just want a single row right there. Go ahead and we'll delete that. And then what we can do is we can go ahead and say, and you know what? Yeah, okay, so here's how we're going to do this. We're going to take this piece and we're going to say extrude island, give that some thickness. Actually, probably have to do it the other direction, which means that we're going to have to flip it, which is fine. Do you still find Vertex pushing in ZBrush faster than using good old modeler like Moto or Blender? Absolutely. For some things. Like for instance, a couple of weeks, a couple of months ago now, I was doing this keyboard, this stylized keyboard for an environment that I was working on. Yeah, it was just so tedious trying to go through using ZModeler to kind of, bridge across places, which is, it's doable. But I decided eventually to just go ahead and take that over into Maya and just use some quick edge bridging like that. It was so much nicer. But yeah, there's definitely, like, I don't know, there are a lot of different options, things that you can do, which is nice. I like having options. I like being able to be flexible. Ooh, okay, let me see. I think maybe I want to start off because the glove already fits the hand. It's already fitting the hand exactly. So I want to go ahead. Let's take this. We'll give it some thickness, and then we'll give this thickness the opposite direction to have it meet up. And it looks like it might have welded. Dang it. There we go. Control W. And then Control W just to be able to make sure that these are separate pieces. Control Shift A. Okay, good. They didn't weld. That's good. That is very, very good. One of the downsides to ZModeler is having the vert welding happen. I feel like it happens too easily. Always takes me by surprise and always drives me nuts. But it's one of those things that is such a helpful tool, Okay, right here. I'm going to say delete. Turn off the mask. Okay, let's come down here. I'm going to say under display properties, I'm going to turn off double. So you can see that, the strap is inside out. What I'm going to do is I'm going to say flip faces for the island, and now we're good. Super, super nice. Then I'm going to turn back to deleting single poly and just go through and get rid of that. Actually, let's actually go through here and actually get rid of a couple more spans here. Maybe one less. Let's just do it like that. Okay, so now what I want to do, let's go ahead and say deleted poly. Let's get these taken care of here. Get this here. Get these along here. And then I want to bridge here to here, here to here, here to here. Okay, and then right here, I'm going to say bridge 2 holes, minimum resolution, polygroup flat. I don't need to hit align clicked edges because it'll do it automatically, but yeah, there we go. So there's that. Dale. Okay, let's go ahead and take that. I'm just going to pull this up. Looks like we might have gotten rid of an extra face in there. That's okay. We'll just fix it here in a minute. Just kind of pull this out. Just kind of adjust the shape, make it feel like it's a strap. And we got to pull this out along here too. Nice and simple. Gotta keep it simple, stupid. Just kind of pull it out a little bit. Actually, let's soften the mask and then we'll pull this out a little bit. All right. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Let me see, are you using references? Have a concept for this one? Yeah, this is a concept that I developed myself. This is for the ArtStation Challenge. Oh boy. Oh boy. That looks like that might have gotten welded or something. Let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. Yeah, that got welded down. Shoot. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of a couple of these faces, and we'll fix it in a minute. Gotta flip this too. Okay, flip that back. Make sure we've got that. Yeah, see, it's like it's still connected somehow. Let's get rid of that face right there. Ah, I hate that. Preferences. So the only thing that you can do to kind of combat this is you come down underneath preferences and geometry and change that Z modeler welding tolerance. But I find that doesn't really ever seem to help. Yeah. It's kind of a pain in the rear end. That's my only real issue. like I have no issues against that sort of thing happening, so long as it's intentional. But I feel like it's just too. Oh, not holes. Shoot, build edges right there. But I feel like it's too uncontrolled. So it's one of those things that you got to be really mindful of and be watchful of. Yeah. Crap. Looks like we missed something right there. Yeah. It totally welded everything in. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. I'm going to say geometry. I'm going to say subtool. I'm going to say split. And actually, we're going to invert the visible, split hidden. And then we'll just go ahead and get this piece ready by itself. Get the other piece ready by itself. And then we'll go ahead and we'll merge them together. Because yeah, that gets crazy, and it's an issue, but yeah, that's why we have. You know what? Actually, let's go back up. Over here, Control Shift A. Geometry, modify topology, delete hidden. Let's grab these. And this, Control W. Alright, so that's a little bit better. So now we can go ahead and instead of having it be right there, I'm going to have the strap connect in right here. Here or here? Ah, heck, let's have it connect in right here. Why not? Okay. Let's go ahead and say extrude island. Okay. Turn off solo. And then with the strap, we're just going to go ahead, we're going to say collapse. Just kind of pull this in until it gets to there. And this way the strap can kind of come around and wrap down onto this other side, just, you know. Whoa, Ashley! Ashley! Head case. Head one case. That's it. So what's your story behind your username? Because that's kind of an interesting username. Head case. Ashley, how are the projects going, my friend? Oh shoot. Turn on solo. Oh, don't turn on solo. Turn off solo. Solo. Alright. Let's go ahead and we will say delete. 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 Okay. Down here, this is where we want to do that same thing that we were talking about a minute ago, where we're going ahead, we're getting rid of these interior faces. Get rid of your face. Do it. Okay, and then we can go ahead and we can say bridge edges. Bridge it up, baby, bridge it up. So currently, Ashley, I'm working on this character for the ZBrush, or not for the ZBrush, sorry, for the ArtStation challenge. Super stylized, very different direction from what I usually go in. But yeah, I mean it's been a ton of fun to work on him. And then I went through, I actually textured his boots the other day in my stream, which that was fun. That was fun. Yeah, I love that fur. The fur was such a simple trick. I mean, ever since you really like introduced me to snake hook brush. I've been using it in all sorts of different ways. So that's one of the ways that I've kind of been using it. Shoulders doing better. Had to switch from Cintiq to an Intuos while it heals. Using too much shoulder when you draw, huh? Just like my shoulder's pretty terrible too, so I totally get it. Well, not quite to the same extent as you, but you know, I get it. I get it. Definitely not fun. Okay, I'm going to want to turn off the, for dynamic, I want to turn off the thickness. We're going to say crease, edge loop partial. Let's get that in there. Looks like I've got these creases going around the corners of the fingers like I want, but it's not going through to the inside. So you can see it as I add my crease back in here, it's kind of tightening up that corner, which is more what I want. We're going to probably go through and add some thickness to some of these spots, like just kind of model some puffiness in there. Do that in just a minute. Corners, corners, corners. Ooh, I didn't think about that. Let me see. Okay, so the thing that I didn't think about, the thing that I really, really feel like I need to consider, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, but then that goes up, that goes over. I am going to need to actually shorten this one more. Let's go ahead, let's bridge this in, because this is going to create issues for me if I'm not careful. Purely because of the transition of topology right here. If I were to go through and bridge this together, if I wanted to add resolution to my, that's still going to have that issue there. Here's what we're going to do then. Okay, simple solution. We're going to take this bottom half, or this bottom strand, this bottom loop. Let's kind of, oh no! Did I get all that I wanted? There we go. That'll work. Delete, 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 and we'll just keep it where we had it. Actually, let's go delete, delete, delete right here. Slide that up, slide that up, slide that up. Okay. There are a lot of things through here that we need to kind of clean up. Like there's some weird edge flow happening down around, not edge flow, but you know, edge smoothness and the linear directionality of these edges down here. Just kind of smooth that out, even that out some. Okay. So now we can grab this, and we want to just kind of pull it back some. And we want to get rid of one of those edge loops. Okay, so the reason why I go through all that trouble is because one of the things that I want to do is grab this piece, we'll solo it out. Okay, so we have, not Control Q, Control W. Okay, so we have this piece here. And in fact, what I want to do, let's say Control, no, I guess let's do it like this, Control W. What I want to do is I want to use Z Modeler. I'm going to say Inset Polygroup All. Okay, so this way it gets me this flow around the front here, so I can take it and kind of give it more of a rounded shape. Okay. something like that. And we'll tweak it more later if we need to. The end right here, I need to get rid of these polygons here. Delete hidden. Let's go ahead, we will pull out these points here. Kind of make them line up with that edge again, so that way we have that lined up the way that we need. Hey Faman, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. Okay, I'm just going to kind of lengthen this out just a little bit. I guess so it lines up with the geometry a little bit better. Sweet. And then what I might do, actually, I think that's a pretty good idea. Let's do this. Oh, come here, you. I'm just going to kind of pull it off of the glove model just a little bit, so that when I merge things together and bridge things together, it won't totally kill my my topology. Hey, thanks Ashley. Thanks for coming and saying hi. I hope your shoulder gets to feeling better. Okay. Control M. I went ahead and set that to merge, so that works nicely. Okay, and then down here, Control Shift A, I can go ahead and I can say insert. Come on. Just want to get that roughly lined up. Okay. So now I can go ahead and I can say bridge two holes. Oh, something must be inverted. Let's see. Display properties, turn off double. Yep. So the strap is inverted. So what I need to do, say flip faces, island. Let's do that. And now we can bridge these together. And now it looks nice. Control A, bring it back, turn on solo. Topological, there we go. All right. By the way, if anybody is interested in joining, there is the No Spare Time monthly challenge. The theme for this month, I haven't put out like an official flyer or anything about it yet, and I might not, but the challenge theme this month is oversized. I'll be putting a poll in my Patreon to for people to go through and vote on next month's theme here in the next couple days, hopefully. Yeah, it's been kind of crazy. I've had some crazy deadlines the last few days, so that's kind of why I'm a little bit behind in a lot of things. But yeah. So yeah, No Spare Time is oversized. Okay. Let me go through and start trying to create different polygroups for these things. Like your video, creating clean topology using booleans, help me for modeler. Good. Yeah, it's a really good technique, and I've got more on that, you know, more in depth, in my hard surface modeling tutorial series, where I made my Hogbot. But it's a great set of techniques to be able to create something that's usable and production ready. You know. Um, oh, that's why I'm on polygons. I was like, I wanted slide edge loop partial. There we go. Something like that. All right. Let's go ahead and mask that. And soften it out once too, so that way we can get that, you know, control that shape a little bit. So now that's going in all right. I'm going to go ahead, let's say with ZModeler, I'm going to insert just a little edge loop in here. Oh, that's right, I can't really do that with that hidden. So let's go ahead, let's insert the edge loop right there like that. We'll just take this and we'll kind of pull it up some. Okay. The goal with this is going to be to create kind of like a stitch, like a little inset. So what we're going to do is let's take all those. Take that. In fact, let's say auto. Let's go ahead and we'll say not geometry, sorry. Polygroups, auto groups. Okay. That way we can get rid of this and we can really focus on this piece right here. Okay, with this piece, what I want to do is I want to grab it. And I'm just going to hold control and just kind of jiggle my gizmo a little bit. Okay. And then what I want to do is I want to hit deformation, polish. Maybe not polish. Yeah, polish. And then we'll say inflate. Okay, so you can see like this is the look that this is creating. I need to go through and adjust the end of the strap, but really, I mean, this is doing like exactly what I want. So giving me a little bit more volume, a little bit more puff to the strap. And let's go ahead and mask that. I'm just kind of doing my relax smooth, not my normal smooth. I'm using my relax smooth. That way I can make sure that I get a much more rounded sort of shape out of it. Okay. You can see it kind of smoothed out a little bit of a weird way right there. So just kind of bring that back some. Just kind of pull this down. Just cozy those points out a little bit. Uncrease that, but make sure that that is creased. Geometry. Come on, geometry, mirror and weld. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Dang it, something weird happened. Look at that. Okay, so this is how the glove is supposed to look. And we've got some super mess happening right there. Mirror and weld. Now we can crease that. Okay, hopefully. Okay, good. It looks like my strap has stayed nicely. Oh, you know what? Let's not have creases going through the band. Crease that though. That's kind of nice. All right. Groovy, baby. Okay. Or whatever you kids say these days. I don't know. ZBrush Core supports 3D Connection Pilot Pro. I don't know. To my understanding, like, if you're talking about like the 3D mouse, if that's what you're talking about, then no, I don't think so. I think the 3D connection, 3D mouse is only supported by ZBrush 2021.5 and above. So I mean, it's something that's like super brand new. Multiple edge loops. We're going to say interactive elevation. There we go. Something like that. Oh, too many. There we go. Just trying to make sure that I'm adding interest, you know, in places to help it feel like it's, you know, something substantial instead of just being a nothing. Like everything you do for this sort of, oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted my move brush. Why didn't it change when I put in my shortcut? Okay, let's say crease, edge loop partial. Okay, so now we got that going, and that's looking slick. Got ZBrush 2021 core, yeah. ¿Qué onda, vato? Yeah. Soy vato malo. Show the whole model. You're sick of seeing just the gloves. You don't want to see my gloves anymore. That's fine. Yeah, so there's the whole model. I've already gone through and done some facial expression with him. So he's ready to be posed. And let me see, we're an hour into this. So I will probably go through, I want to finish the gloves. And once I finish the gloves, I'll go ahead and start posing him. I should be able to get him pretty close in his pose during the stream. We'll have to see. We'll have to see. But yeah, and let's hit save because that's important sometimes. Anybody who follows me knows that saving is important. Turn off local symmetry. Make sure that that's nicely mirrored and welded. Okay, so a couple of these places I definitely want to go ahead and start adding in some edge loops to start to create. Well, in fact, let's do it like this. Come on, there we go. Insert multiple edge loops. And we'll just go ahead and add that in, add that in, add that in, add that in. Oh, that wasn't exactly what I was picturing there. Add that in, just so we can get like a good kind of puff around these Dale. Okay. Kind of a good puff around these sections here. Okay, so let's do this. I'm going to come in here with the come on, change it. Oh, let's just change it. Okay, so we got the multiple edge loops already. We're just gonna kind of puff it up and then make sure that it's got 3 edges in there. Okay, so that's gonna be pretty nice, I hope. And if it's not, you know, we'll figure out how to fix it. Add that in there. And then I'm probably going to want to puff out these fingers a little bit. ZBrush could crash? Yes, I am absolutely saying that. Yeah. It's no fun, is it? You know what? I'm trying to decide if I even like having the little fingertip outlines there. Let's get this back to the color that I want it to be. It's not bad. It's not bad, I guess. We'll keep it. Okay, let's just go back to that lighter color. And let's use my insert primitives. And we will say use a polysphere. Drag that out. Use that. Oh, come on. There we go. Extender. And just kind of extend that out. Okay. Now, one of the things I want to do, now that I have this, let's say flatten, I'm going to turn on symmetry. Okay, I'm going to flatten this out so that it's, you know, this nice cylinder, this like flattened cylinder. Okay. Hey, thanks, Nitsari. Yeah, I have like way too much fun with all of this stuff, so it's like it's really easy for me to get carried away sometimes. Go ahead and fold that down, and let's Z modeler. I'm going to put specified as elevation for my multiple edge loop insert. That way I don't have to worry about. Let's say keep groups too, and we will say uncrease. That way I don't get like weird creasing going in there as I'm trying to do things. Change the direction of this. Give it another resolution point there. And let's make magic. Because that's what we do. We make magic. Okay, something like that. Now we just got to tweak the shape, make sure that it's fitting the contour of the hand nicely. Say split point. Let's put that in there. Let's put that in there. What a good size. Yeah, it's a good size. Maybe a little bit bigger. Let's make it something like that. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And we just kind of, oh no. Control Shift A, let's get rid of that. Control W so that it's its own polygroup. How embarrassing. Okay, now we can just kind of pull that in just a little bit so that it's nice. We'll say uncrease all. And then we'll say Control Shift X again, and we'll say crease PG. So that way we get the nice creasing there around the around those holes. And then I want to add some sort of cushion right here. I think. Yeah, I think I do want to get rid of like the weird. Let's say insert single edge loop. Get rid of those. I think what I do want to have, instead of having it puff out like that, I want to have it so that it feels more like it's got maybe a seam. So maybe what we'll do is we'll go ahead, we'll say insert single edge loop. That's great. Put that in there. And then we'll just try to, eyeball it so that it's about, pretty close. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that. Control W so that it's its own thing. Replying to Swiss Daffy. Oh, did I miss somebody? I actually don't see any questions. So that's I guess there must have been something that I just totally missed. That's the first comment I've seen from Facebook actually. So hopefully I'm not missing like a ton of stuff happening on Facebook. Usually when I watch the ZBrush live stuff, I watch it on Twitch or on YouTube, which seems to work significantly better. Man, I hope that's I hope I'm not neglecting anybody who's trying to come in and watch. Oh man, there's just too much kind of involved in there, and I'm just gonna first comment on Facebook. Oh, good. Okay, let's see if we can get some more of this worked out here. Figure out kind of what it is that I want to get out of this. Let's say, yeah, let's just do this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in fact, instead of doing that, let's just go ahead and we'll say mask edge loop partial. Boom. 2, 3, 4, 5, because there are 5 fingers. we'll come over here and we will say inflate in the negative direction, just to kind of give it a little bit of a volume change there. So that'll help to kind of give a little bit of that that shape. Then I think I also want to go ahead and say insert single shoot. There we go. I am going to give a little bit of puff to these fingertips, but not as much as I had. So let's say, yeah, I just want it to not be flat. And then we'll go ahead and inflate this in the positive direction. Control A. In Thailand, it's bedtime. Oh. I just finished having bedtime for the first time in a few days. Okay. Those are looking kinda cool. I think that's working for me. Have a good night, Faman. Faman. Do you know anything about ZModeler Edge extrusion being changed in ZBrush 2021? Yeah. I mean, it works a little bit. It works a little bit better. They went through and kind of tidied up some of the bugs that it had in 2020, which is nice. It works really, really well. I really enjoy the edge extrusion stuff. Yeah, and I actually use it quite a ton, so so it's, yeah. So my opinion on the matter is valid. Yeah, in fact, I use it quite a bit to be able to do things like to do character topology and things like that. I use it for creating assets like surface assets quite a bit, and then I'll use it in conjunction with things like what's it called? It's like I'm going through, and you'll notice that I'm just kind of using the inflate. I'm not really trying to make it so that it's perfect. I'm just trying to make sure that it's got some more volume, and having kind of like a varied thickness throughout is going to help it to feel a little bit more organic. So I'm totally okay with it not being absolutely perfect. Yeah, it just helps it feel a little bit more organic. I don't want it to be super let's go the other way. Yeah, I don't want it to be super perfect. I don't want it to feel machined. I don't want it to feel yeah, I just don't want it to feel CG. I want it to feel a little bit more lived in. I don't want it to feel realistic by any stretch of the imagination, but I also want to make sure that it is that it still behaves in a predictable way. Just kind of pull this out so that it feels more like it's resting on the surface instead of penetrating through so much. Puff up this end a little bit better. Using 2019, following a tutorial of ZBrush 2021, I couldn't figure out why extrusion was not working the way that it did on the. Yeah, it's one of the tricky things. They changed it so that it's not like a I don't know. It was weird before, as you are using, um, but yeah. How are you adding segments to your model? The thing that I'm doing to add segments to my model, I'm just kind of taking the ZModeler brush. So if I use ZModeler, I can come in here with my edge actions and I can say, you know, insert single edge loop or multiple edge loop, and it's super helpful. I really love the ZModeler brush and the tool. I use it like way more than I think most people do. Which is fine, you know. It's a great tool. It is a great tool. I really super enjoy it. Oh, come on. Okay, let's get move topological on here. Gotta fix some of this flow right here because it's a little bit messy. Orale. Okay, there we go. Okay. Cool. Yeah, we'll call that good. One of the things that I'm trying to decide, colors for these gloves. I know that I want this this little thing right here to be more of a metal. In which case I think it would be good and wise of me to, I'm going to add like a bevel right here. So I'm going to say bevel edge loop complete. I'm going to kind of pop that bevel on there. Then we'll take this and we will say geometry crease, PG. So that way we get a little bit more of an edge on there. Not quite as much of an edge as I'd like though. Let me see. Kind of pull this back up into, you know, something that we can see these you know what, maybe it's just that this is too, oops, too harsh there. Okay, let's go ahead and solo that. I'm going to take this, let's say, do I have an inflate? That'd be interesting. No, but we have a mask. Okay, let's do that. Okay. So we've got that. We'll come over to deformation. We'll say inflate. And then we'll say crease. Come on. I know you want to. Here, we'll do it this way. We'll come up here to our crease and we'll say, okay, crease anything above a 72. We'll say crease. And looks like it got it. You see I creased that whole edge loop going around there. Perfect. Alright, so now we've got our gloves. This is awesome. Okay, so now we've got that. It's 9:30. I'm not sure I'll be able to get through a full posing. If I can't get through the full posing by the time my stream has to come to an end, then I will probably go ahead and jump over onto my personal stream and work on it there. Let's go ahead and grab that color. Control Shift A, we'll say MRGB color fill object. So that way it's at least, you know, the color's blocked in. We can also come in here and we can grab these, Control Shift S maybe, Control W. Yeah, let's grab a couple of extra edge loops here. This way we can go through and make sure that the color for these fingertips goes inside, and we can kind of hide seams and things like that. So let's say Control W there. Okay, let me see. So for the edging, let's look at what we have over here. Really, we don't have any kind of like interesting edging anywhere, and I don't want to make it anything that'll stand out too much. So I'll probably give it, I don't know, maybe give it something like this for now. That stands out quite a bit too much. But I wonder actually, let's come in here, maybe find like a good happy medium color. Control Shift A, we'll say color, bring our RGB intensity down, and then we'll just kind of flood it a few times, and that'll kind of even out the tone some. And now we can take this, grab that, Control Shift, ooh. Control Shift X. I hope things didn't get welded in here. I'm going to be so insanely disappointed if it did. Okay, it didn't. Oh, but something happened with the Okay, so I'm going to move this off just a bit so that I can see. Yeah, I need that flow to be fixed. It drives me nuts. How did that even happen? Okay. So yeah, I'm just trying to look and assess kind of what it is that's happening. See if I can figure out how to get this to work to my advantage. We're just going to go ahead and do something like this, and then we'll go like this and like this and like this and like, okay, that side's already taken care of. All right. Control Shift S. You know what? Oh, you know what? Yeah, you know what? You know what? You know what? Let's handle this one thing at a time. Let's come over here. Let's do it like this. Control Shift S a couple times there. Let's get rid of that. We'll say Control W. Grab those. Control W. this. Control Shift S a couple of times to shrink that selection. Invert it. Okay, so you can see kind of some of the pieces that we're missing in here. Okay, let's see what else we're missing that we need. Let's grab those. We'll grab this orange poly group. We'll grab our yellow poly group. Okay, I think we got everything that we need. Okay, so Control W, just make that it's all of it, just one big happy poly group. Come over here and we will say mRGB color fill object. That's better. Yeah, I won't worry about fixing that part on the inside. It's kind of a whatever thing right now. Do I have a sketch I'm working from? Yes, absolutely. I mean, you know, there are a lot of things that I'd gone through and sketched. Currently, I don't have anything pulled in. So I'll show you the spotlight that I'm working from. These are my original sketches that I started working from. Everything else was kind of designed based off of whatever I had included inside of my original sketch. So yeah, lots of little things here. Yeah, a lot of what I do when I'm designing something is that I'll be designing kind of on the fly inside of ZBrush. It's a big part of what my job was when I was working at Imagineering, at Walt Disney Imagineering, was that I would do these design sculpts for rides. That was a lot of fun. That was a really great. That's my favorite job yet. By a long shot. Ah, shoot. Dang it, ZBrush. Oh, now I gotta go through and do the... But yeah, so anyway, that's kind of part of what I do, my process. I'm just going to take it like this. Let's go ahead and get rid of all this. You know what? I hate it when this happens. Delete a poly, delete a poly, delete a poly, delete a poly. Bridge edges. Insert single edge loop. And then we'll say stitch to midpoint. Non-symmetrical. What's the issue here? Where in world? Yeah, sometimes there are just issues, and you just have to kind of figure out how to go about fixing them. Such as that beautiful instance there that I wish didn't happen. Okay. Gotta make sure that that's not pulling in any extra. Okay. Sounds like somebody's having fun. Oh, tell me I didn't get another one. I totally got another one. What the heck? Hate it when that happens. I go through, I'm all careful, and it just decides to totally screw everything up anyway. Insert single edge loop. Stitch. Stitch. Okay, we'll say crease PG. It might be worthwhile for me to go through and just take these parts of the fingers here and oh shoot. Just kind of inflate them a little bit. Not a ton, but enough so that it's not like too thin. Okay, right here my color's messed up just a little bit. Ah. That's better. Okay, so now we've got our gloves. Now we can like stop worrying about this. Did you get any models for rides actually produced? They haven't been produced. Well, I mean, they're being produced now. Like I've got things that are going into Disneyland Tokyo, Disneyland Paris, and also some stuff that's going in at Disney World in Orlando. But that's something that's kind of not happening quite yet because of the all too happy world of pandemia. But the stuff in Tokyo is being manufactured and built right now. It should be up and running maybe in the next 2 or 3 years, I think. Yeah, it takes a long time for this stuff to actually go through and be built. And I mean, it's been a year since I left Disney, and I had been working there for almost 2 years while I was there. So yeah, it's quite an extensive process, much akin to making a movie, you know. Okay. Perfect. Okay, so just because I can't remember if I saved or not, you know, it's always like I get a little bit jittery, you know, thinking about it. Yeah, dude. The animatronics for the Beauty and the Beast stuff was amazing. Oh my gosh. Like I remember going through and like being in meetings where we were watching it all come together, and it was just incredible. It was incredible. Blew my mind. And just very beautifully put together. And yeah, it's just crazy. There are a bunch of other things too that I don't know. I don't know what all has been specifically named, so I can't like go through and name things. But yeah, I worked on a few different rides for the Tokyo Disneyland Seas expansion, and it's exciting. I'm really excited. All right, I am ready to move forward. Then let's go ahead and then we'll say, guy pose 01. Mike's here. Mike's here. And you brought your brother. How you doing, brother? Transpose master. Oh. It is time to start posing this guy. Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm going to have to actually do this. I'm going to have to go through and like commit my layers. So I'm going to say bake all. What else has layers? Let's just go to the top of the subtool list. We'll get rid of things that we don't need. Delete. For the body, we can say, yeah, we'll just rename it so that it's just body. Okay, we got this bracer, which I don't necessarily need. This thing here is not really something I need, so I'll get rid of that. Hair's good, brows good. Let's rename it though. Eyelashes. In fact, we'll just, yeah, I'll leave the bracer where it is for right now. It's not a huge deal. Earrings, or I guess earring. Pupils, I can get rid of those. Okay. Which eye is this? This is eye left. But I stayed. Eye underscore right. Okay, mouth parts. Let's go through gums. Teeth top. Tongue. Teeth bottom. Glasses, something that, that's something that I'll have to play around with. It was kind of an interesting idea, and it's got a lot of development that needs to go on before I, actually use them. What to say? Paul, how are you doing, brother? I was going to turn into your stream the other day, where you did the bust, where you did that one character with the super defined cheekbones. But I tuned in too late. It was kind of a bummer. Oh, so just so you can see the full glasses, that's what they're supposed to look like, and I'm still trying to decide if I want to use them or not. I really like them. I think it's such a fun, just a fun aesthetic. But it's just one of those things where it's like I can't fully decide if it's too bizarre, if it's too. In fact, I may even want to go through and instead of having it be yellow, maybe I'll have it be pink. I don't know. It's maybe I'll explore that real quick, since we're here, because I think that could be kind of interesting. A little bit more on the purple side. Oh, you know what? I didn't even add the layer there. Let's go ahead, add the layer, color, fill object. That way we can kind of go through and test it, see what it is that we like. Let's make this even more purple. Color, fill object. Ah, shoot! I did it again. Make a layer, color, fill object. Layer. Oh, what? Here, let's undo the layer because I need to make sure that I'm getting that that value there. Let's grab that color, fill object. Yeah, I'll have to figure out if I like it or not. Doing well, best ever. How are you doing? I thought about doing slits in the shades, but I also kind of want the kind of like the transparent candy sort of look, you know. Yeah, that's just something that feels like it would be super appealing to me. I might actually go through and let's try something like this: color, fill object. Yeah. So, why did that turn off? What the? Very odd. And let's try something. Let's try something. Color, fill object. Color, fill object. Color, fill object. That way it's not tying into the material at all. Yeah, wow. It is not affecting my color at all. Ah, that's such a shame. It's not that I want it to be candy. It's that I want it to kind of have that, you know, the translucent, you know, Jolly Rancher, sorry, kind of a hard candy sort of consistency, you know, like really. Let's get rid of the layers. I liked the colors though. I thought that they worked nicely. I think that the glasses definitely add something. You just want to eat more wrappers. Yes, I do. Which studio do you work for? So currently I do freelance. I do maquettes in the animation industry. Currently, recently I've done a bunch of stuff for NBC. I've done stuff for Netflix. Right now, I teach stylized character creation at Noman. Oh, I didn't realize it's so late. Let's go ahead and move on with this. You know what? I'm going to turn the glasses on, and we'll just pose them with the character. That way I can kind of make a choice later. Okay, very nice. Okay. One of the things that I'll probably go through and that I will be making, I mean, the reason he's making this facial expression, he's got his cheek all puffed out, is because he actually has food in his mouth. So I want to put like an apple with a big bite out of it in his hand. So like he's bending down, kind of touching the ground where there's a footprint or whatever, and he's got this apple kind of resting over his knee. And then, so his cheek is full of whatever he just took a bite of, Might not be an apple, might be something else, but it's, just something fun. Let me see. Let's go through, save this again. Okay. So now let's go ahead and let's do it. Let's do this. We're going to do it. We're going to have some fun. Okay, so let's say T-pose mesh. Now that we've gotten everything renamed, which I think it actually goes through and renames things when you're playing Bar of Chocolate. I'll have to get reference for. Stop reading my mind, Mike. There we go. We get to pose him in psychedelic pink. Yes. All right. Let's get this party boat rolling. Kind of interesting to see the low poly go through with the because I've done the sculpting on the hair and everything now, so it's like it's affecting the actual geometry. But yeah. Anyway, so let's go ahead. Let's do this. Okay. So I know that I want to have him kind of in a squat position with like his kind of sitting on his heels. Yeah, so I'm actually going to be working on the pose right now. A bubblegum character. More food. So yeah, a lot of this, I may end up coming through here and hiding a bunch of these things that that aren't necessarily the easiest parts to pose. So we got things like this collar right here that'll be super easy to pose with the character. But yeah, so essentially what I want to do is I want to start thinking about I want to think about his hips, I want to think about his feet placement, his it's really kind of tricky because the position I want, you know what, maybe I need to find a piece of reference real quick. Man touching the ground. I don't know. Oh, that's a pretty good one, actually. That actually kind of surprised me. I didn't expect to find anything that. Here, I'm gonna pull up my PureRef folder. I should have actually gone through and made this PureRef document like forever ago, but I didn't. So, it's kind of stuck trying to play catch up to some extent. There we go. That's a good one. Click and drag that over here. Make it a little bit bigger. And that should be a good enough image to be able to see kind of the pose. But there was another image that I had seen. And I'll probably have to go through and get like photos of myself doing the pose at some point. But there's that other picture that I liked. So between the two of these, I think we have a winner. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of pull this up in here like that. And maybe we'll pull it. You guys probably not be able to see everything, but I'll be able to see everything. It's not as important for you guys anyway. I need to be able to see. So we'll have that, and then you can at least see that that image right there. All right. So I really like how the feet are placed here, and you can kind of see the hand peeking out right here. But then I really like being able to see just the way that the body is coming into it. So I'm going to go ahead and start by offsetting these feet. Okay, I think. Kind of come in here. Now I'll have to do some reshaping for sure after I move things around, because these pockets are on the surface. They're not actually attached to the mesh. Even if they were attached to the mesh, there would be a lot of mess in trying to get them to deform smoothly and nicely. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this leg, and I'm just going to, yeah, I'm going to move it up. I'm just going to, woo, just like that. Whee! Okay, let's grab our select lasso. And then we'll just soften, oops, soften that out some. Oh shoot, let's see. Get mask lasso out. Let's kind of mask out landmarks that I want to keep more intact. That way I can work more in a, you know, without fear. I'll put it like that. I'll work without fear. Okay. There's going to be a lot going into this pose, and this is actually going to be quite a challenging pose to work on. Because of how extreme the bend is here in these hip joints. So I will very likely need to like just continue working on this on my personal stream. Let's go ahead and do this. Control Shift A. You know what? Let me see. Let's do this. I want to make sure that I am getting everything masked the way that I need it. So I'm going to say Control A here. Control Shift A. And then we will go ahead and say boom. Boom, invert, Control Shift A, Control Shift invert. Okay, mask all that. Now we can start to like move this thing around. So what I'm going to do when the person's squatting down, those knees aren't going straight forward like this. Okay, they're going kind of more out to the side. So I'm going to replace my place my pivot. Like that for right now, and then we'll just kind of rotate it out some. Just kind of move it some so that it feels like it makes more sense. Oops, that's not what I meant to select. All right, let's do this. Control Shift A. Okay, this area right here, I want to even out these spans. You can see there's a lot of stretching here, and then everything down here is even. So I'm just going to, oh, I got to watch out for that seam too, though. I'm just going to come down here and just kind of relax, smooth that out some. And that'll help to get me a little bit better of a form down here. There's a lot down here that I need to kind of clean up flow-wise, you know? Oh, I forgot to open my chat back up. I was like, where'd the chat go? So moving the pivot, I hold Alt and move it around. Let me see. I need to kind of catch up. Where's okay? Bar chocolate. Finalize the pose. Bubblegum character. Okay, cool. Your work for Disney. I asked this from BN. So B-Chat is awesome. He's a great friend of mine. He's such an awesome. He is the best ever. So I currently do not work for Disney. I was working for Disney before the pandemic. And then the pandemic just caused all sorts of havoc and craziness. So, you know, I'm trying to figure out what life looks like post Disney, but I've gotten some really good projects and some good clients. You know, one being Spin Master up in Canada, and I've been doing some maquettes, some character maquettes for them for some Netflix projects that they're working on. That's really exciting. And then I teach stylized character creation at Noman in Hollywood. But yeah, really, I mean, I've been working on kind of, you know, personal projects, being able to set up tutorials for people to be able to learn from, things like that. And yeah, so it's interesting. Okay, smooth that down, and then we'll pull it up. This is like way too strong. So I'm trying to check it from all different angles just to make sure that the flow and the form and everything works nicely and that it feels right. Do I have a workshop? I have a course. I mean, if you look down here in the bottom corner, I have a QR code that you can scan to be able to get to my my full course. I have a course. I have a Patreon. If you're interested in that. And yeah, I try to make myself available as much as I can, because I have a lot that I have learned. I have a lot of ways that I have grown and been able to develop as a character modeler, as an artist, and I feel like it's nice to be able to share. So yeah, I try to be as active online as I can. Okay, this needs to come up for sure. But yeah, I like to I like to be around. I like teaching. I enjoy sharing. I enjoy working on things that I'm passionate about, and and I know that there are a lot of other people who want to follow a passion as well, and so I try to encourage that, and I try to open up and share my process as much as possible so that people can learn from it and be able to follow their passions, be able to follow their figure out how to create their ideas. Oh no. Since I used this to move it up, oh shoot, might as well just use it to move the shoe up. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. I gotta actually like more place this. Alright, that's a little bit better. And then I gotta get the knee pads on there and everything better. That's really funny. Okay. Actually, it's not very funny, but yeah, whatever. I know you don't talk specifically about the Netflix project, but how does a character Marquette fit in the creation of an animated show? Do they then model the character again for the show, or do they use... it kind of helps to... it helps with pitching, it helps with story development and story artists. So story artists can have something to be able to look at when they're drawing, so they can see like the full turntable for the full character from all different angles. And then they use it as like a benchmark for forms and volumes for when they create the final model, if they're using 3D. So it's really neat. It's a really great. It's a nice little gig. it's great. Very different to hire in Disney, as per your script. Yeah, it's insanely difficult to get into Disney. I mean, there are a lot of people that are just super, super good. There are a lot of people who are super, super good who can't get into Disney. It's Disney's tough. It's tricky. Definitely not an easy place to get into. And I mean, even though I've been there and I've worked there, I don't know that I'll be able to get back anytime soon, because of how Disney has gone through and closed studios and laid people off and things like that. I don't think that they will go back to normal anytime super soon. I could be wrong. I hope I'm wrong, because there are a lot of good people out there that lost their jobs and could really benefit from being able to go back, or getting other good jobs elsewhere in the company. But yeah, I mean, it's just hard. It's super, super hard. So to be able to get in, I mean, requirements are going to always be changing, and it's always going to be getting more and more difficult. It's never going to get easier. So so being able to get in now is harder than it was 10 years ago. Being able to get in 10 years ago was harder than it was 50 years ago. It's like there's a lot that goes into getting into the industry, and it's never been easy, but it's never been harder than it is right now. So So just to make sure that real expectations stay realistic, you know, just like keep in mind that it's not easy and that it's not going to be easy, and that in order to get into the companies that you want to work for, you have to be the best of the best. You have to be better than the people that are working there. You have to be humble, and you have to be kind and good to work with and good at taking critique and things like that as well. But you definitely need to be, you know, like the absolute best in order to get in. Trying to understand your process. I'm very new to ZBrush. So you have a high resolution model, but when you're posing your character, you switch to. So it's not necessarily something that I choose to switch to. It's just the way that the tool works, is that it switches to the low poly version, which is actually really helpful, because then I have less topology that I have to deal with. If I were to have it in the high poly version and trying to pose it, it would not work very well. It's so much more difficult. So yeah, it's definitely something to kind of be aware of. See, I'm going to kind of pose his body forward a little bit. Let me see. Let's take maybe a couple of other questions, and then I'll I gotta end the stream, and then I gotta jump over probably to my own stream. Maybe at 10:30 I'll start up on my own stream, and you guys can join me there. Smartist, or you can go to twitch.tv/smartist, and I'll be there at like 10:30. Let me see. Let's take another couple of questions. Stop that timer. Yeah. All right. Mike, this might be a bit off topic. I'm using ZBrush brush, and I'm drawing the squares, but it's not creating the polygons. Any possible reason why? It's driving me crazy. It's because you're using the ZBrush brush. So let me show you. Let's say clone. So the brush that you want to use is this Topology Brush. Yeah, so this is where you're going to go through. You can draw your thing out, and it's going to start creating your polygons. Okay. Yeah, so that's the whole difference. The brush that you were using was the ZBrush guides, I'm guessing, and you see it's definitely not giving me anything. But if I switch back to the Topology Brush, you see it's going through and it's giving me topology again. So yeah, that's the difference. But yeah, so far so good. So far so good. He's doing the can. His posture is terrible, and he's leaning a bit too far forward. But he's doing the can. Anyway, you're such a doofus. Yeah, you are, but we'll keep you. Alrighty, guys. I'm going to go ahead and jump over to my personal stream, and I'll see you guys in about 20 minutes. Thanks to everybody for coming and joining in and saying hi and chatting and watching or whatever. Hope you guys had fun. Hope it was somewhat helpful for you. And yeah, I mean, we hope to be able to make it so that it's as helpful as possible. I can't wait to go through and get this guy finished up. So yeah, in about 20 minutes, I'll go ahead and jump on my my personal stream, and we will start, really fleshing out this this pose. It'll take a few hours, possibly, but yeah. See you guys shortly. Oh, and those of you who are interested, if you're interested in getting more from the Pixologic channel today, Paul Gaybury will be on, I'm pretty sure it's Paul anyway, at 11 o'clock Pacific time. So here in another 45 minutes. So if you're interested in watching him talking about sculpting miniatures and things like that, Feel free to come back to the Pixologic channel in about 45 minutes, and that's what will be happening then. Otherwise, love to have you over on my stream. So yeah, another 15 minutes and I'll be there. So I will see you guys then, and until then, stay safe, stay happy, and I will